Hello.
We are
Live.
And with me tonight is the amazing Denise Longton. We're excited to be coming to you tonight to share. Now, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching this in the recording, I want you to really pay attention. Excuse me, not to the cough. But I want you to pay attention to what we're going to share with you tonight, because what we're sharing tonight,
Hey, AJ.
the
Hi, Lord.
most important thing that you will ever learn.
Hi, Annette.
It's Annette. It's Lori. It's AJ. It's Misty. And it's a Facebook user. I'm sure that is. So we got some new people joining us tonight that we just got signed on this afternoon. One of them I just welcomed earlier.
Yay.
Dory. And so Dory, that may be Dory. Dory's joining us. And so excited to have her on. And then I think we have Henry is going to be coming on as well. So we got some new people on.
Hey,
and
Rena.
And some Rena's on, the people that are always here with us and learning. But, I just wanted to make sure that we give everybody just a minute to come on, because if you want to change your business and you want to have major success, there's a couple of things you've got to do. And see, a lot of times when we bring people in the business, if we're struggling, the Facebook user is George. He must be out on his snowmobile.
Hey, George.
George. And here's another Facebook user and another Facebook user. Oh, that's Debbie Stella. Debbie Stella. Confidence and belief in the system. So a lot of times, we've been talking about this a lot, Denise, lately. A lot of times our belief and the story that we tell ourselves prevent us from growing our business, and literally will prevent us from enrolling people or reaching out to people to get them enrolled.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is because we're not sure that we can help them be successful.
Mm-hmm.
You ever felt that way?
Yeah, I have, actually.
Yeah.
Lots of times.
Lots of times. There's Kyle, and Kyle and I did a three-way earlier, and it was great. Three-way call.
Kyle.
But see, here's the deal, is that's a story that you're telling yourself because you have brought people on, they haven't been successful.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the important things is this, is if you believe in yourself and you believe in the system and you believe in the product and the company, which we all do, believe in the company, the product, the industry as a whole. I mean, we've got how many people on our team making, multi six-figure incomes? Lots of them. So we know it works. We know not only the industry works, but we also know it works here with Touchstone.
Right.
But we have to be confident in ourselves that we can help people.
And once you learn that piece, hey, Misty, hey, Evie, once you learn that piece, it's powerful. But what's really powerful about it is because even though you learn it, doesn't mean that tomorrow it's all fixed, right? Mm-hmm. Because you learn it, but this has been habitual for you for your entire life, whatever story it is you tell yourself. So once you learn it, now you become aware. So now you start to recognize it. And when you recognize it, you can stop yourself briefly, back up the bus a little bit, and kind of reframe that or tell a different story or what have you.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts to really become powerful.
It does. And so people say, well, great, if you do that over and over and over, do you stop having the stories? And the answer is no. You're still going to have them. Denise still has them. I still have them. We still have them. But when you say to yourself, well, for me to think that Susie would not be interested in the business, so I'm not going to reach out to her. That's just a story I'm telling myself because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if you and once you start, as Denise said, recognizing those stories that you're telling yourself, you can look at them and just kind of chuckle and go, "Yeah, one of them stories."
It's kind of like buying a car or looking for a car, and all of a sudden you see that one particular car that you never saw before, and you see it everywhere. And it's because now it's at the top of your mind. And so you're noticing it where you didn't notice it before. So becoming aware is the first step. Once you're aware, then you can start to notice, and then you can start to
make a difference.
Tweak.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about here at Touchstone is we've got a plug and play system here that works so that you don't have to be an expert.
Right.
And we've got upline support to help you and do three-way calls and to communicate and to guide you and support you. So you don't have to be an expert.
100%.
Yeah. More and more tools coming out. So the key is this. So when we talk about people coming into the business, we say, okay, so so tonight we're talking about the onboarding. You see, we're going to briefly talk about the preface to the onboarding, and there's a PDF that Jana put together for us that we're going to share. But this part we're talking about tonight is the onboarding. Okay, now what do I do? And again, we're going to briefly touch on, hey, what do we do when that brand new person comes on? Because here's the deal. When a brand new person comes on, here's what we have a tendency to do. Overload them with information, And so they end up doing what? Studying the back office, studying the product ingredients. They're getting ready to get ready.
You give them that impression that they have to learn first.
Right.
Before they can get started. And for some people, that's a several-month process.
Yeah, it can be.
So,
and then what happens is when they're doing that and they're paying for product and they're talking to people about it, they're not taking action, they lose. A person is never more excited and more enthusiastic about building their business than the moment they put that credit card in there.
It's true.
Yeah. That's when they're most excited. So here's the deal. So what we've been working on is this, and we've been working on this now for several weeks and trying to perfect it. And I think Denise, with your help, I think we've kind of done a pretty good job of shrinking it down and saying, here it is, because let's think about this for a second. If Denise comes on board with me, whether she even knows what CBD is, she might think it's, cow bumping, disease. Who knows? That's an exaggeration, I know. But here's the deal.
That's pretty good.
Cow bumping disease. You got to be careful with that. We're selling cow. But here's the deal. If she doesn't know what CBD is, she doesn't have any idea that the super green juice has 44 superfoods in it. She has no idea. Doesn't know. Doesn't matter. She just said, what should I order? What should I take? And she ordered the Advantage Pack, and she got excited, and she's sampling the products and taking them and feeling the difference. But she doesn't know what's in them. She doesn't understand what zeolite is. But we help her enroll 5 people in her first 30 days and put, say, $400 in her account.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's going to happen to your enthusiasm level when we do that for you?
Pretty big.
And not only that, but all of a sudden you're thinking, this really works.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And what we're teaching them is, well, I didn't have to be an expert. Denise helped me get 5 new people and earn $400. And listen, I thought CBD was cow bumping disease. That's the only thing I could come up with off the top of my head when I was thinking CBD. What is it? so then when they go, we can come up with a different one. But what happens is then when they go out and enroll somebody, they're going to believe that, hey, I can enroll them and we can help them earn $400 or $500, $600, $700, and I don't know squat because I didn't then either. You see what happens to the
truth. Like sometimes, it's easy. You get so excited when you bring someone on new. And you feel some sense of responsibility that you're going to help them. But the truth is that their success is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to show them what they need to do next, not what they need to know for the next 5 years,
right?
What they need to know this week.
That's right.
Like when my kids were younger, if I gave too many instructions at one time, it was a disaster. I would tell them one or two things and then they'd say, then come back to me and I'll tell you the next. Yeah. Because if I gave too many instructions at once, it's overload and I can't compute. So
hey, especially with those of us who have ADD, the squirrel. I mean, if I'm going to the grocery store and it's like, okay, you need 5 things, I'm like, send me a text. Because when you get there, there's 5,000 things.
I know.
And you're gonna leave
with 5,000 things minus the 5 you were supposed to get.
You're gonna leave with 10 things and get back home, and your spouse is gonna say, well, what about this and this? And you go, crap, forgot that. But what about all this other stuff? Yeah, I saw it. And then, so that's what happens is they just get scattered and they feel overwhelmed.
Yep.
Yeah. Overwhelmed.
So let's overwhelm them and focus in.
Yeah. So listen, when they come on board, remember I talked about there's a couple of things you got to do, and see, here's what it is. When you look at the site, there's some simple things that you have to do. Like, okay, here's how you log into your back office. And the reality of it is, you go here, you click on log into the back office, you enter your username and password. The reality of it is, here are 4 things that they need to know. And that's it. Mm-hmm. They need to know how to set up their account so their website is right. They need to know how to set up and manage their auto ship. They need to know how to go in and put their banking information in there. So at the end of the week, when you help them enroll somebody, they get paid, right? And they need to know where to find gift cards to give away. That's it.
That's it.
If you go into all this other stuff, you have just confused. Now they're overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. So this is all they need to know. And then after that comes this. And so, Denise, if you would, I had on there, 5 steps for your first month, first 30 days. And Denise said, well, no, I mean, really, this is your first week. This is kind of really your first 72 hours. Mm-hmm. 72 hours. And so, Denise, if you'll talk a little bit about helping understand what their why is, because that's so important.
The why is really big. First of all, can I just make a comment about the first week?
Yeah.
If you're starting a business, right? So even if your intent is not to go great guns and make $1 million, it doesn't matter. Your intent is to make money. And if you are on a runway in an airplane and you press the gas pedal down and you mosey on down the runway, you're going to get to the end. And guess what? You're not getting off the ground. So you're going to have to turn that baby around and start again. If you put the pedal to the metal right away, just for that little stretch of the runway, just that little stretch, you're going to get off the ground and in the air. And so that's why we say the first week. Okay, so number 1, what's your why? This is the reason why you're doing the business. Now, some of you might say, well, I'm doing the business for some extra money. Okay, how much extra? Like, give me a number. And then what are you going to do with that number? And how is that going to make you feel when you're able to do that? You want to be crystal clear on the reason why you are doing this. And I like to say the why that makes you cry, because you want to make sure there's an emotional component to this. You want to think about how you feel now. What is it that's bothering you that made you come to this business, that you have hope that can change that? What is it that you want to accomplish, and what are those things, and how are they going to make you feel? And write that down and share it with your upline.
Mm-hmm. You see, if I know when I bring on Denise that Denise has, a credit card debt, and I know that that's really bothering her and she wants to get rid of her credit card debt. If I know that she says, hey, look, I know that one of the things with Jana Clinton is Jana said, hey, I want to make enough. Mark, her husband, she said, we want to retire and move to Montana. And she said, I want to make enough money in my business so that we can comfortably retire, because right now we're not comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to Montana tomorrow, I think it is, isn't it? Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
To meet with a builder because they bought a lot up there. And she's only been with us now for a couple of years, but her income is getting to the point where now, and see, when Denise starts struggling, and people do, it's just human nature. When she starts telling herself those red light stories, I can say, Denise, now remember that you were looking to, you guys retire and be able to pay off your home or be able to pay off that credit card debt so you could be comfortable when you can retire. You still want to do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that kind of brings them back to the why.
Yeah, that why is going to get you through the peaks or the valleys, right? Because the business is a roller coaster. It just is. Life is a roller coaster, right? You got your awesome times and you got your not so great. And in order to get through that little bit of a lull, you need to be connected with why you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so once you establish that, and again, if they say, hey, I want a new house, you say, what kind of house? How big? Is it brick? How much land is it on? Is it in the mountains? Is it in the blizzard? Is it in the blizzard zone? Where is it? What does it have? Stream in the backyard?
And don't leave out these details, you guys, because this is important to connect it to the emotion. And if you can visualize that, it makes it that much more real, and it's that much more powerful when you're having a struggle to be able to get you through that to the next. Or sometimes it's to just overcome something that's a little fearful to you.
And you cannot attach it to a rank.
Correct.
Because they don't know what that means. They don't understand that. If you say, hey, I want to be executive. Well, number one, the new people don't know what that means. And number two is, okay, so your goal is to be executive and to earn, $300,000 a year. Okay, great. But now let's talk about why you want to reach that level and that income level, and what are you going to do with that money?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so important. Whether it be private school for your kids or grandkids, whether it be to leave it, whatever it is, that's so important.
Because it's easy to talk yourself out of, if you want to earn an extra $1,000 a month and you're having a rough week, you can say, well, really need 1,000. I could probably 500 is probably fine. Mm-hmm. And you might say, hey, remember you wanted that new countertop?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Remember that new car you wanted?
Yeah.
Remember that house you wanted with the stream in the backyard? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And number two, but listen, number one, there's a reason it's number one, because a lot of people in today's world have stopped dreaming. And when you start getting them to talk about that and to dream again, something clicks with them. So that's why number one and so important. And number two is this, and this is something they're going to need some help with. I did a 3-way with earlier, and we talked to Aaron, and I'm like, hey, how much would you want to earn in your first month? And now Aaron's never been in the direct sales business before. I'm sorry, I said Aaron. Aaron, Hank Aaron. Henry. And Henry's like, I don't know. So we have to lead them, because you might say, hey, to a brand new person, like, hey, how much would you like to earn in your first 30 days? And they might go, well, I want $5,000. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we can get there, but it's going to take a lot of work and effort. And so when I said, well, it's possible, very possible to earn, $500 in your first 30 days, $1,000 in your first 30 days. How much time do you have to invest? If I gave you one of those numbers, which would you choose? And he said, I'd love to earn 500 or 1,000, either one. And then you got to say, okay, great. So how much time are you willing to invest? Mm-hmm. And what are you going to do when you earn that? You know, it was so compelling last week when I was talking to a young lady over in the UK, and I say young, she was probably, maybe late 20s, early 30s. And she said, I said, what are you planning on doing with your money? Well, what do you want to earn in your first 30 days? And she said, $225. And I thought, where'd you come up with that? And I said, oh, well, that's good. And I said, why $225? What are you going to do with it? She said, you know how cold it's been over here? It's been really unseasonably cold in the UK. And I just got my power bill. And, I enrolled in Touchstone and I spent money to buy product, and my power bill came in and it was $225. And I want to earn the money to pay my power bill. Sometimes it can be something that simple. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, that's great. I said, you can enroll 2 Advantage members and make $250 and pay your power bill, or you can enroll 10 VBOs at 100 PV each and make $250 and pay your power bill. Which would you like to do? And she goes, I want to enroll 2. You see, we get them thinking.
Yeah.
We get them thinking.
And that's why it's for the first 30 days, right? Because your ultimate goal could be to earn X amount per year, but that you got to break that down for the beginning. So you know what to do today.
Right.
You're doing today. It's very tough to connect what you're doing today with something that you want years from now.
That's right. That's right. And 30 days is measurable. Mm-hmm. It's important to be able to measure it. Now, number 3, Denise, we talked about the list, and we talked about putting that list together, and you had some feedback on that. And we talk about your 20 easiest and your 10 easiest and your 10 best prospects. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, first of all, make sure you write these down. And the prejudging thing, I know we say it all the time, and you may know this. I know it. We all know it, but we still do it. We still prejudge. We try not to, but it's hard not to. Just make that list. The 10 people that maybe aren't the easiest to quote unquote get into what you're doing. Maybe it's the 10 easiest for you to talk to, the 10 people you're most comfortable with. And then the 10 people that either you feel like they're the best business prospects, or they're the 10 people that you feel you would most like to work with, who you think would be successful. Mm-hmm. Whether they're whether they're an entrepreneur already, whether they have a full-time job, maybe they're a doctor, maybe they're a lawyer, but make a list of those and write it down somewhere where you see it, and share it with the person that is doing your upline, the person who you're going to be talking to in your first couple of weeks.
And because we want to contact these 20 people in your first 72 hours, and the 10 easiest are people, a lot of times, as Denise said, there might be people that I talk to every day.
Yeah.
Now, when you're teaching this and training this, you also have to say to people, now listen, just because you communicate with them every day doesn't mean they're going to be excited about this and do it.
Right.
And that's okay. But you're comfortable talking to them. And that's what we're looking to do, is have them talk to somebody they're comfortable talking with.
Right.
I mean, there's people that I know when I started the business that I called up and said, listen, we're doing this new deal and you're going to sign up and we'll send you the link. And they're like, what? I go, don't worry about it. Just sign up. And here's what I want you to order. They're like, I don't want to do it. And I go, well, I don't care. You're doing it anyway. Sometimes we have people like that.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And then, so, I was talking yesterday about this, and so the key is for this is that this doesn't need to be a hard task. As Denise said, just think about people and just put them on the paper just put the first names that come to mind on the paper don't make it difficult.
Right.
And
don't
I would suggest
too much about it.
Don't think.
And this list of 20, by the way, is not like your grand list. This
No.
is just the first 20 people that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
And you want to continue that. You want to be adding to this every single day. Every time you think of a person or two, you're going to jot their name down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I recommend when you enroll somebody that you do all these steps with them, the first 4 steps with them. With them. Okay, let's talk about your why. Okay, let's write that down. Okay, let's talk about what your goal is for your first. Okay, let's write that down. Okay, let's put your list together. You see, it really shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes for them to put that list together of 20 people. If it takes more than that, they're overthinking it.
Right.
You know, if I said to, you know, to you, who do you think would be a rock star in this business? Who is the most successful person you know that would just kill it in this business? Just tell me a name. And whatever name comes out, all right, put it down. You see, if you let them think about it, they go, yeah, but. Well, no, just put it down. Don't worry about it right now. Just put it down. You see, because we hadn't got to step 5 yet, you know. We hadn't got to step 5. Now, number 4, let me tell you how important this is. What to say, how to invite, and what to share. This, when you enroll somebody, you have to tell them what to say, how to invite. For example, if I just go online, I could invite. I mean, let me think about this. Well, I mean, Facebook would limit me to the number of people that I can send messages to each day.
Yeah, you'll be in Facebook jail in a hot minute.
Yeah, they'll block you. And I don't know what the number is. Do you know what the number is? 50? No. And really, it's kind of within a certain amount of time. Like if you did 20 this morning and 20 in a little while and 27, then you'd be okay. But I can literally just just send out invitations to probably 100, 150 people a day. But see, that's not what we're doing here. And yeah, I could have sent it to them. And then how to invite and what to share. So when they say, yeah, you know, what to say to them and how to invite them. And then when they say, yeah, I'd be interested in taking a look, what do we send them? And we're going to cover this on the next slide, what to send them. But it's so important for you to hold that new. See, here's the deal. We want your new person. You have to treat that brand new person that you're enrolling as if they're your next star ambassador. They're going to be a star ambassador with this company. And if you're new and you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. That means they're really high up in the chain. They're making great money, and you're getting a 20% check match on them. So you don't even care if they're making twice what you are because you get a 20% check match. Okay. And so you got to treat them as if that's the next star ambassador in the company, but you have to help them and treat them as if they don't get 5 people in their first 30 days. Your star ambassador is going to walk and quit.
Yeah, the truth is when people start, and you guys know because we've all been there, sometimes if you don't know what to do, you'll do nothing. Or you'll do things that you think are, you know, filling your time and you feel like you're working, but it's really not moving you forward in your business. It's just busy work. So this is an important piece, whether that person wants that information or not, you still want to share it. What they do with it is up to them.
Listen, I have had people do, you know, I in the past, I've not been as good as I should have been, but I also in today's world, I've worked with people. I worked with somebody recently who they sent the invite out. The person said, yeah, this is through Messenger. Yeah, I'll take a look. They sent them the video. And then they sent them another message on Messenger that said, hey, did you get, in one message, hey, did you get a chance to watch that video? And if so, what did you like most? And the response was, I'm not sure what you're talking about. You see, that's a mess. So we have to say to them, don't do it by Messenger. You know, It's like when you're teaching your kids how to ride a bike. You know, when you lean in the left, so you put them on a bike and you push them and say, go get it. And they go, crash. Go get it, crash. Well, eventually they may or may not get it, but eventually they may walk away. But if you say, listen, when you're leaning left, turn left. And that'll bring you back up. And when you're leaning right, turn right. If you're a bicycle rider, we've been riding them our whole life. We just think, well, what do you mean? You don't know to do that?
Right.
Oh, you don't know that you're supposed to get a phone number and call them and talk to them about the follow up?
Yeah.
No, they don't know that. No. Unless you told them, they don't know.
And you know what? That's not to say that down the line you can't do things by messenger for some things, but especially when you're new and you're excited, the only way that excitement sells, you guys, that excitement really is attractive to people. So the only way that you can really convey that is for them to hear your voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So powerful. Now, we have our why, we have our goals, we have our list, we know what to say, what to share, and how to follow up. Great. Here's the deal, Denise. Here's your assignment. The people on that list, I want you to reach out to them. The list from step number 3, I want you to reach out to them within 72 hours. You know how to reach out. You know what to say. And what they say yes, you know what to send them. And then you're going to set up a call with me. And listen, we need to talk each day so we can follow up each day and see where you're at and how you're doing and answer any questions you might have. And if they ask you a question, the answer is, I'll send you a link. You don't want to talk about it. It's just simple stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, here's the scripts that we talk about doing. Now, listen, here's the deal. These are just 3 different scripts that many people are having success using. I had somebody call me 2 days ago that said, which one of these scripts should I use? Pick one. I don't care. They're all kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They all basically say, are you open to taking a look at the opportunity? If so, I'll send you some information. Are you interested in taking a look at an opportunity to create some additional income on a part-time basis? If so, I'll send you some info. If not, no big deal. That's the message.
And this area really is, these are suggestions that have been known to work. Mm-hmm. But you need to be comfortable, because if you're not going to seem authentic, and somebody's going to feel like you're reading from a piece of paper. So you want to get comfortable with these words, or swap out some of these words for something that sounds more like you. Yeah.
Yeah. And in addition, but see, what we want to prevent is you overthinking it. But as Denise said, if I'm going to reach out to Denise about something, number one, I'm going to call her and say, hey, have you got a minute to catch up? Okay. And I may say something like, hey, how's it going over there? I see you're about to get dumped on some snow. You're getting 12, 18 more inches on top of that mound you got. How's Jack McMuffin doing? Was he over today? Because if I just picked up the phone and called Denise and said, hey, Denise, I want to see if you're open to take a look at an opportunity I came across to help you earn some additional income on a part-time basis. If you're interested, I'll send you some info. If not, no big deal. Denise is going to go, what? What did you just say? What are you talking about, Alan? You see, but so there are people that that you know. And if I haven't spoken with anybody in a long time, I'm probably going to comment or something on their social media page and say, hey, thanks for liking my page. Thanks for liking that post I put out. Man, wasn't that really cool? Hey, listen, I was just thinking about you and I wanted to see if you were
open.
Yeah. So make it a little personal.
Yeah.
But
and it's okay to be upfront. I mean, it's cool to be upfront and honest.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, Alan, I only have a few minutes, but I wanted to touch base with you quick because I just started something that I'm really excited about. And I thought of you immediately because, I remember you saying you'd really like to retire, but you just wish you had a few extra bucks to put away so that you could do that sooner. And, this is something that's really working for me. And I just wanted to, I thought of you and I just wondered if you're open to taking a look to see what it is about.
Denise, thanks you for reminding me of that, because that is such an important point to make. I want everybody to make sure that you write that down. Get to the point. Get to the point. The sooner you can get to the point, the better. You do want to be some personal on the front end if you can, but don't beat around the bush, because I can just tell you, even for me, if I've got something I want to ask you and I'm beating around the bush, you're going to kind of probably feel that, what's the scoop here? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What's this about? What are you trying to tell me? Those ones that send you those messages, the LinkedIn ones are the worst. Hey, how are you? Great. How are you? Good. Hey, I'm glad we're friends on social media. Thanks for connecting. Well, you're welcome. But hey, listen, I was looking at your thing and I really like what you do. Thank you. You're sitting there waiting, going, okay, just drop the hook. What's the deal? Go ahead and tell me. Yeah. So that is so important. And thanks for reminding me of that. And so, and again, what you got to realize is you don't have to be perfect. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. Yeah. Now they say yes. So here's the deal. I've made this so simple. I posted these 2 YouTube videos on the team page tonight. You can say, okay, go check out the touchstonelife.com. That's a YouTube video. That is the 4-minute Live a Good Life video. It's not associated to anybody's pay. See, what I like about this is you can have them share this, and we're getting them their 5 in their first 30 days. And I've not even told them it comes from a Verb app and to download an app. And there's a lot of people who are tech savvy, but there are a lot of people who, I don't want to muddy the water, going, have you downloaded that Verb app yet? Have you got it? Have you figured it out? Oh, you don't want to do that. You want to go to it online. And when you get online, you got to go in. You got to upload your contacts. Do you know how to do a CSV file? They're going, oh, what? CSV file? 1 minute we're talking about, cows. Next minute we're CSV. Is that a cow suit? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, when they say yes, here's what I want you to do. Send them this link. Say, hey, go to the touchstonelife.com and watch that video. And listen, after you watch it, we're going to follow up. So you're going to set a follow-up time. And then if I'm Denise is my upline and I'm new, Denise is going to say to me, okay, Alan, when you have somebody that says yes and you send them the info, so I'm going to either call or message Denise. Hey, Denise, I just talked to Susie and Susie's interested. And I just sent her the video, and we're following up tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Now, I may say, if I'm brand new, so what do I do at 11 o'clock? You see? And that's okay. And you want them to say that. What do I do at 11 o'clock? Well, hey, and then Denise can say, well, we're going to get them on a 3-way, or here's what I want you to say to them. Here's, or I'll coach you through it, but you want them to follow up. The other one is touchstoneoverview.com. Right here, touchstoneoverview.com. That's the 2.5-minute product video, the one with the tractor with the square wheels. That's a great video.
It's a great video.
Yeah. So one of the 2 of these, depending on the person, if you send both, one's 4, one's 2 minute, not a big deal. Okay. But this is going to pique their interest, because if they say, yes, I'm interested in earning some additional income on a part-time basis, I am interested in that. Then if you send in the good life, just say, listen, this is a video that's going to kind of give you an overview of what it's like and some of the ways to earn money with us. And just send them that link. Pretty easy, eh?
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Now, then what happens is I call up Denise and I go, oh, Denise, what do I do now? I got this Susie lady. She said yes. So then Denise, as my upline, needs to walk me through setting up a 3-way call that we can talk to Susie. how do we do that? Or, how do we do a three-way call? Listen, I have literally in the past, I've learned my lesson. I've said to people, okay, we're ready for the three-way. Are you going to three-way me? And they go, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. What do you mean three-way me? Do you have an iPhone? Well, yeah. I don't think mine does three ways. You got an iPhone? Yeah.
Hit the plus sign.
Plus, you can walk them through it while
Yeah.
you're with them on the phone, literally. Okay. So and you need to say to them, now listen, this is important. You need to explain to them that, okay, Denise, here's what you're going to do. You're going to introduce me and edify me as your upline leader, because you want them. See, if I'm doing a three-way and Denise is my upline, I want to say, if I'm doing, I'm putting Mark on the phone. Hey, Mark, I'm going to get Denise on first, so that Mark and I aren't calling Denise and Denise be in her car in a snowstorm and not answering or whatever. And there I am stuck. I'm the new person. I'm stuck with this recruit and I don't know what to say. So I get Denise on first. And then Denise is going to coach me a little bit to make me feel better about it, because that's our role. Then I'm going to call and listen, and she's going to say, call Mark. So I'm going to call Mark and I'm going to say, hey, Mark, listen, excited to follow up with you on the video that I sent you. Listen, I've got my upline leader, and see, I've already merged the calls. Denise is there. And I was just telling her about you, and she's really excited to meet you. She's on the line with her. Her name is Denise Longton. She's got one of the fastest growing teams in the business. She's been in this industry for a long time. She's a great mentor and leader and also a great friend of mine. She really understands what we're doing, and she's been very successful in this business. And so I wanted to introduce you to her. You see, I'm going to edify my upline. I'm going to edify Denise so that now Mark goes, wow, she's somebody I want to listen to. You see, nothing against me, but a lot of times the people that know me, let's just take the people I went to high school with. They know me. They used to let us leave for lunch. And they know me, Alan, the guy who a lot of times wouldn't come back. We stayed at the park, and having a cold one or two, So that's how they know me. But my upline, and even if it's not my upline, even if I'm using Denise and we're cross-line or whatever the case may be, or even my downline, I say, Denise, I got a lady who I think we just did this today.
Mm-hmm.
Was it today or yesterday? Today. I'm like, hey, I've got a lady that I think you will relate to. You sell your company's, your family's product online. It's the Red Love sauce, pasta sauce. She sells an energy drink that her son has put together and sponsors a race. And she's talking about how busy she is trying to do that and juggle things in her life. And I think that you would really relate to her. So I go, hey, and I introduced the two of them through a three-way chat on Messenger, introduced the two of them through Messenger. And now they're talking Friday. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Friday. You see, so that's what I want to do. I want to edify. And then I'm also going to edify Mark. And Denise, this is Mark, the guy I was telling you about, or Susie, this is the lady I was telling you about. I'm really impressed with her. And I think that if she decides this is something she wants to do, that she could really knock it out of the park. I just really feel like that she's somebody that would fit into our team in our environment. So I edified Denise to them, and then I edified them to Denise, so they feel good about themselves talking to Denise. And then you also then have to tell them, okay, so Denise is going to have told me beforehand, after you do the introductions, Alan, you push mute. Now, why is that? Y'all know me, right? You know me, you know Alan, right? If I don't have my line muted, chances are I'm going to butt in and say something. And if I'm brand new, there's a good chance I may say the wrong thing. You see, Denise is the experienced upline leader. She's the one relating to this person. She's the one who's doing the call for me. And out of respect for her, I'm not going to interrupt, number one. Number two is, after you do it for a long time, and Denise and I have communicated a lot on the phone with people before, I know where she's going. But that new person doesn't know where you're going and doesn't know where you're leading them. And so you don't want them to interrupt and rock the boat. You want them to push the meat on their line. And I sometimes will say, if I'm talking to an Alan Newell, now listen, Alan, you can unmute your line and speak if I asked you a question. If Mark asked you a question or Susie asked you a question, even if they say, Alan, what do you think? You let me answer it, and you only unmute if I asked you to. Some people you got to say that to. That's so important. So important. So 3-way call, simple, easy. Now, Denise, you want to talk about what to do if they say no?
If they say no, which is highly likely.
More than not.
I say that laughing, but we all know it's true. And the last thing you want to do with a new person is leave them with the impression that they're going to call 10 people and 9 are going to say yes. Because we know that if that happens, they're going places, but we want to make sure that they're not overly disappointed. So if the person says no, that's okay. Totally cool. Is there anybody that you know of who you feel might be interested in hearing what we're doing, that this might help, whether it be product or business, either way? You want to ask for the referral. And this is really big because a lot of times sometimes they feel bad about saying no. So they're quick to offer up somebody else. The first, in another business, I was at a demonstration. Somebody was doing an event and they were talking to me in what I'm going to call their recruiting talk. And she's looking right at me and I'm trying not to make eye contact because I know I don't want to get talked into anything. And she said, and she's like, so if you know anybody, if you yourself aren't interested, you may know some people. I go, I know 4 people. Because I was like, I was trying not to do it. I came up with 4 people that could. So I'm just saying, people will often refer to you. And if they do your best to get that information and not let them say, I will have them call you, because that's never going to happen. A stranger is not going to call you up. It's just not. And so either the business or the products, you don't know who might be interested. And if they don't know anybody right away, say, no worries. Just keep me in mind. That's it. The other thing is sometimes people say no, and you'll be able to gauge this on how they say no. But sometimes no doesn't mean no, never. It just means now's not a good time.
And to that point, I'm glad you said that, because here's the deal. Now, you were just talking about that lady who was pitching you and trying to sell you and convince you, and you were thinking, how quick can I get off the phone with her? And so the chances, because of the way she acted, you're like, it's probably no, never, because I don't want to work with her. But when you come at this, so you never want to try to talk them into it.
No.
Because if you don't, then just as Denise said, after they think about it a little bit, they may go, hey, listen, I just wanted to follow up. I was thinking about that. Because you didn't pressure them. You see, they're used to people pressuring them.
Yeah. They may have had a bad experience, which is pretty common in this industry. They may have had a not so rosy experience. And if that's the case, they're just acting off of instinct. Like it's an immediate, like, yeah, no, it's not really for me. Listen, I totally get it. I didn't think it was for me either, but here I am. So is that a no, not right now, or no, never, ever, don't ever call me again? Or do you want me to check in with you in another 3 months? Because, sometimes our situation changes. You never know. A lot of times people say, yeah, you know what? Now's not really a good time, but it is interesting what you have. So check back and let me know what's going on, how it's going. Sometimes people just want to see, do you stay in it? Like, how does
Mhm.
it go? Let's see if she has some success with it, because if she does, then maybe I'll think about it.
Right, right. Now, if Denise gives me referrals and I call those referrals, and if even one of the four or if just one of them signs up and says, yeah, I'm in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Denise back. And I'm going to say, hey, Denise, listen, you referred me to Susie, and I talked to Susie, and Susie's like ready to sign up. And when Susie signed up, by referring people, we get paid commission. And I just wanted to circle back with you. I mean, you don't have to, but wanted to find out if you possibly wanted to come on board too with Susie. And if so, I would rather you earn that commission than me because you referred her to me,
Mm-hmm.
And if I did what Denise said, which is I didn't pressure them, I didn't make them feel guilty or bad, I left them with a good feeling, they might go, well, yeah, because now they're thinking, well, Susie, my good friend Susie, she must have saw something I didn't see. Well, yeah, I'll do that, But again, like you got to leave them with a good feeling, So, it's funny because Debbie said, "Yep, Alan did that to me." Like, okay, mute Debbie. And I like what Rena said. Don't take it personally. And that goes back to what Denise said earlier, which is if you go ahead and tell people, hey, listen, you're going to contact these 10 people, and most likely 8 of the 10 are going to say no, they're not interested.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens if 3 say they are? They're like, dang, I'm good. Now, she told me 8 were going to say no, and I already got 3 that I've only contacted 4 or 5, and 3 said yes. I'm on a roll. They get excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be upfront with them. Hey, listen, chances are, that they're going to say no. And then it's as simple as just doing this same thing, rinse and repeat over and over and over. Just do it again, do it again, do it again. And this training, we just took 47 minutes, but here's the deal. This is how it's not 47 minutes. It's this. Here's the 5 steps for your first week. What is your why? How much do you want to make? Make your list. What to say, how to invite, how to follow up, what to share. Reach out to those people in the first 72 hours. From step 3, here's 3 things that some people are using. If you don't like it, the key points are: you open to taking a look at an opportunity to earn some additional income on a part-time basis. If so, let me know. I'll send you some info. If not, no big deal. Add your flavor to it. Here's what you send them when they say, yes, I'm interested. Here's what you do when they do that. You set up a 3-way call with your upline. If they say no, ask for referrals or ask for anything in the product, rinse and repeat. How about that? See, that's it. That's it. Don't complicate this. Look at that little sugar muffin. He's adorable. Yeah. So that's the key, is to not complicate this. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to complicate things.
We do. And bombard people.
I love to complicate.
and tell them too much,
Well, we're excited,
Yeah.
But it really is that simple. And just understand, as with everything else, this is a guideline. We're trying to make this simple. We're trying to make this turnkey so that you can do it and whoever you bring on can do it, and it can be duplicated, right? But you're going to find little things that work for you or don't work for you, and, make little tweaks for yourself. But those 5 things are really the main things you want to get across ASAP.
That's right. And because that's what it's all about. If you just remember these 5 things and to share those, and then what to send them, you're golden. You can build a business by knowing to do those things and saying, even if you take somebody that go, hey, listen, I got this new deal going on. Don't know what it's all about, but if you want to check it out, here's a link. Check it out. They're going to have some success.
Right.
And so let's not, I'll never forget, I enrolled a lady and she was like, where's the comp plan? Can you send it to me? So I sent her that 1-page overview sheet. well, that's not it. I mean, where's all the other stuff? And I said, well, it's like 20 pages. Well, send it to me so I can study it. I'm thinking to myself, okay. I said, listen, here's our comp plan in a nutshell. You enroll people that buy product, we pay you commission, 25%. If you want to make more money, you enroll more people. And listen, when they enroll people, you get 10%. And they enroll people, you get 5%. That's it.
You know, generally the only people that you would really ever share, in my opinion, all of that information with are people who have built huge organizations in multiple companies and they know a comp plan. Like they're going to see certain things and they're going to go, whoa, that's perfect because I didn't like that about my current, like when they're trying to make a decision, that might be powerful. But the number of people that you're probably going to talk to like that are few and far between. The average person just needs to know you bring people in, you're going to get paid. That's why you need to know right away.
That's it. Now, Debbie said, where do we find these PowerPoints that you just shared? Okay, and so I want to put that on the team page. But Denise and I have gone back and forth about this a couple of times, and we haven't. Denise, if you have not told me, but I'm not sure we even need to share. You know, oops. Come along, little puppy. We're cow tipping. I don't think we need to share this slide and this slide. What are your thoughts? Because I mean,
and that can be your, whoever's doing it's choice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because you know to walk them through how to log in and how to set up their page and how to put their commission thing
sometimes I've gotten on a Zoom with people to walk them through that, and they've already done it.
Yeah.
In fact, they've already been way farther than anything I'm going to tell them. I'm like, what's going on?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. So
Yeah,
this
so
really the meat and potatoes. This 5 steps for your first week right here is what you want to, that's your little checklist.
So I will have that up on the team page tonight, Debbie, so you can see that. And we'll get moving from there and get this. And so here's the deal. It's February the, what is it, 16th? Is that right? 17th. Today's the 17th. Okay. So we are heading into the, 3 of the best months in the industry by far. March, April, May have a tendency to be great months. And what we're doing now is going to build towards that. Okay. And I want to emphasize in the training that you heard on Saturday about, hey, spend your time doing the income producing activities. This is it.
Yeah.
This is what makes you money. Nothing else you do makes you money. Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Denise, thanks for helping me out tonight.
You are welcome. It was good to see you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks everybody for their comments, and we appreciate you. Go out there and ask some people. At minimum of 2 a day.
Yeah, 2 a day and play. You guys can do it. I believe in you for real.
Absolutely. Make it happen. All right. Talk to you later.